Y'all wanted more AK content, so here you go. How to load your AK, because you're probably doing it wrong. Ooh, out. What does that mean? It means it's time to reload. How should you do that? Well, there really is no wrong way. It's ultimately getting that old mag out of the gun and your fresh mag in the gun, loaded, and then right back to shooting. Fair enough? Fair enough. Welcome back, everybody. Clint here today. Excited to be bringing you some more AK content because my buddy Matt Capaldi over at Classic said I needed more AKs. Thank you, Wish.com AK guy. So here is my Zastava Impap underfolder. This was the very first AK I shot. The video you saw probably, I don't know, at some point this week or maybe next week, depending on when that video comes out. I did an initial review on the Zastava Zvuk silencer that you see right here, which is a pretty nifty little can. So, when it comes to reloading your AK, there's obviously a bunch of different styles and different ways of reloading. Just like the video I covered recently about tactical versus speed reload, when do you do a speed reload? Like kind of what you saw right here, where I did not retain my spent magazine. I ditched it. Why? Because I wanted to get that fresh mag in there and start sending rounds again. But there's obviously different times and places for wherein you can go ahead and retain that magazine. When you can, top off maybe a half spent mag, whatever it might be. And just like in that video I covered before, it's whenever I'm behind cover is when I can take my time. We're pretending that this is cover. Obviously a bullet would go straight through there. Height over bore, keep that in mind too. What's height over bore, you might ask? My sights are clear from any obstruction, including the magazine there. But guess what isn't clear? The bore itself. If I were to pull the trigger right now, not only am I going to be damaging this barrel or my cover, I'm also probably going to be damaging my magazines. That's multiple there, there's plural. So height over bore, be aware of that, all right? Just because your line of sight might be clear doesn't mean your muzzle is clear. So keep that in mind if you're shooting over barricades, over obstructions, around things like that, right? So that's something to take into consideration when performing these reloads behind cover as well. Now, different types of reloads. You've seen me already do a couple different styles with the AK variant platform style of rifle. This being an Impap, a Yugo style rifle. It's not the same as your traditional AK, which has different, it's got a different receiver. It's got different furniture that'll fit it. So again, as I mentioned, anytime I show a Yugo style AK, if you're looking for furniture for your AK or your M70, whatever it might be, make sure you're getting the correct furniture for it, all right? Because traditional AK stuff won't work. Now, when it comes to reloading, as I mentioned, you can do like the little magazine flip as you see. It's all about speed and getting your gun back into the action. I'll go ahead and stand up now so Quinn doesn't have to keep kneeling or squatting. One style that we often see is grabbing your fresh magazine and flipping the old mag out while simultaneously hitting the mag release, which is the paddle right here behind the mag, as you can see here. If you're new to AKs, might be your first purchase, something like that, there's your mag release, okay? We're gonna go ahead and clear this guy. Easy enough, just so we're working with a clear and safe firearm, because I can kind of show you guys, and on the Zastavas here, they have the bolt catch, charging handle catch, more so integrated into the safety. Personally, what I typically go for matches my dominant AR style, which is flip the mag out, grab the fresh mag, insert fresh mag, rack. That seems like a lot of moving parts. That's because it kind of is. There are simpler ways of going about it, like what you saw when I first introed the video. I pulled the back on the charging handle, flip out the old magazine, insert new magazine, let go of charging handle. That's also complicated and can introduce a couple of variables that might cause screw ups. One, you could slip on the charging handle because you are pulling back against tension. It could slip off of your shoulder, especially if you have like a especially if you have like more of a traditional or standard stock that's going to be a little bit more narrow back here, could slip out of the pocket of the shoulder. You might be dealing with a heavier profile AK like the M72 and trying to maintain this pressure and keeping that muzzle where it's not starting to fall on you. If you don't have the upper body strength for that, don't even try it. Typically, here's what I like to do. And I will show you with my Bakelite mags here, my High Speed Gear Industries mag pouches, which aren't really, I mean, they work pretty good with this. So here's my typical reload of an AK, kind of what it looks like here, right? So I'm gonna shoot till I'm empty. All right, gun is dead. Typically here on an AR, I do a quick little flip. What you notice when I do that, it has become muscle memory. That right there is enough to be able to see if my bolt is out of battery, if there's a jam, if there's a piece of brass, whatever. All it is a chamber check to make sure that the gun is functioning as it should be. It's, again, muscle memory, takes barely any time whatsoever, and it's just to make sure that, hey, I have an empty magazine and the bolt should be back and locked to the rear on an AR, and I'm good to go ahead and insert a fresh mag. What I'll do right here, pocket the AK, flip that magazine out, insert fresh magazine, come in, load, continue to shoot. Seems easy enough. Obviously a little bit more moving parts. The other one we can show, and I want to show with this magazine because we're going to be talking about it here in just a moment. Pocket that one again. Got this mag we can use again. The other one is the simple little mag flip. Hello, freaking mag pouches. All right, so the other one is the mag flip with the mag. So again, I'm gonna go till I'm empty. There it is, I'm out. Pocket here, come up, flip the mag out, come in, load. Cool. That one's fine too, if you ask me, but again, you have to really, especially if you don't have like an extended paddle release here. This one's not extended. This is your typical, your standard mag release, the paddle type of release for your AK. If you miss that and you're sitting there fumbling with it, that could cause some problems. It's a lot easier to take your thumb, get that feel for it, and shift it out of there. And I'm doing that with pretty thick gloves. It is a little bit cooler out here today. You guys like my Commando Store Sasha jacket? I think it's kind of cool. Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah, every guy loves that movie. At least you should, all right? Cool. Now the other one I want to kind of show you guys, again, this is just fun AK content for me and getting more rounds sent through the ZVOOK silencer for my, what will be 5,000 round review. Man, y'all help me out with some super chats or something. You know how expensive AK ammo is, just ammo in general? Find me a 7.62 by 39 sponsor and ammunition, and I'll do more AK content, all right? Now, the other one I want to try to show you guys, I say try, because I'm actually not the best at it, and it's something I got to practice, and that's holding the bolt back like I was just talking about, all right? But we're going to be doing it with these mags, which are pretty interesting because these are a last round bolt hold open magazine. But the moment you take the mag out, it's going to go forward. I'll show you what I'm talking about, right? So the mag's going to lock to the rear when I'm empty. All right, notice bolt's locked to the rear, but the moment I take the mag out, goes forward. Now that's great to let you know, like, hey, yeah, you've run out of ammo. Okay, cool. So if I continue on here, it's easy enough for me to grab that, grab my fresh mag, flip that guy out, insert fresh mag, let go, and start shooting again. What's cool about that is, hey, I don't need to move my hand from the magazine, especially if I'm in an oh crap situation. I need to get rounds as soon as possible. Again, speed reload mindset here. That's whenever I can go ahead and just start sending it. And then once I'm comfortable with moving my non-dominant hand into position that's a little bit more comfortable and ergonomic to shoot with, I can do that, right? So those are just a couple of different styles of AK reload. Now, obviously you throw in a whole different variable when you actually want to retain the magazine, which in this case, for me, would be pretty valuable of a thing to do. Or at least once the dust has settled and it's safe, I can go back and grab my magazines. Especially my Bakelite mags. You don't see too many of those anymore. So retaining your magazine obviously takes a couple extra steps. It's continuing on with the shooting process, continuing on with the drill, but not ditching that mag. Do I have any other fresh mags on me? Yes, I do, because I come prepared. Not all the time, but here we go. So let's just take these out of the dump pouch that are already there and loaded. Oh, man, I love me sometimes. Okay, so right back to it. Let's go ahead and start retaining the magazines here, because they're valuable, right? I'm out, locked to the rear. That's the one thing I forget about these mags. And then right back to it. Now you notice this time too, coming over the top versus under the bottom. It really is what's most comfortable for you guys. That's the entire point of all of this, actually, is what is the most comfortable. And when you start just shooting and running these different types of drills, you're gonna find out really quick what works, right? And you're just gonna become more and more comfortable with it. I wanna do that again, actually. Grab a fresh mag. By the way, the metal tabbed PMag mags, I prefer the older generation, these ones, the polymer tabs, because I feel like they have a little bit more give. The metal tabs will obviously last longer, but I kind of prefer the old school polymer ones. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that, what your opinion is on that. But let's go ahead and try to retain the magazine now. Let's do it. Ready? Here we go. Out. Here. Dump that one. Come up. Ooh, that's sloppy. And underneath. That felt more natural to go underneath. I was already kind of struggling with getting the mag in there. So that's something I got to practice with. Again, I'm not obviously as familiar with the AK platform as I am the AR platform. I'm more of an AR kind of guy. I can even say that I probably actually run my FAL more than the AK, but I still like to get out here and get the round count with it. And that's kind of the moral of the story here is don't become so comfortable with one weapon system over another. Get out there, practice, train with each of them. I know I still got to do that myself. Become familiar with all of them. You never know when you might find yourself in a situation where you need to be familiar with them. And I'm not saying just like in a combat battlefield pickup type of situation. No, I'm talking about in an educational and safety type of situation. You go to the range and you see a gun laying there like that, you should be able to approach that and be like, wow, this is relatively unsafe. Nobody's around this firearm. I don't know if it's actually loaded, if it's clear or what. So you should be able to walk up to it, take the magazine out, check the chamber, and then if possible, especially on a lot of AK variants, there isn't that notch here for you to lock the bolt to the rear. Coming back and locking it to the rear, and then leaving the gun ejection port side up, so that way everybody can visibly see that this is a clear gun pointed in a safe direction downrange. So it's not just, again, that combat mindset of being able to pick up any weapon system and running with it because you're so well trained. No, it's all about safety, guys. Safety, which can help you later on if you find yourself in that battlefield pickup type of moment, right? So get familiar with all sorts of different weapon systems out there. Stay tuned for my in-depth review of the Zvuk suppressor from Zastava, and let me know what are some of your favorite reload methods with the AK platform. If there's some that maybe I didn't try that you'd like for me to try or think that might be actually better than what I showed today, drop them down in the comment section. And while you're at it too, since we're talking a little bit about this silencer here, which unfortunately is an NFA item. If you're unfamiliar, that's the National Firearms Act, which is a complete infringement on the Second Amendment. Become a member today at Gun Owners of America. We are actively fighting to dismantle, repeal the National Firearms Act, removing safety devices such as silencers from any type of registration, because at the end of it all, they are a safety device and an accessory for your firearm. They're not a weapon themselves. So why is there a registration? Why, at this moment in time, do you have to pay extra money to be able to own such an item? Even for short-barreled rifles and short-barreled shotguns, those are NFA items that require an additional tax. That goes away as of January 1st, but for whatever reason, it's a thing, and it shouldn't be. So become a member of GOA today. Become a friend to Monadnock Firearms like I am up here in New Hampshire. They're available nationwide if you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's where I've actually picked up a lot of my magazines and quite a few of my Zastava products. But yeah, and hold-up displays. If you want to beautifully display your firearms, your Second Amendment pride and joy on the wall, and getting that gear off the ground, your safe queens out of the back of the safe for that occasionally range day visit with said safe queen, you can get it now displayed on the wall and you can take it down with ease, right? Or not with ease with a locking device from hold-up displays. Up to you guys. And check out my friends over at Gun Camp who are actively training and instructing people about firearm safety like we've been talking about. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Now I'm just going to keep increasing my round count through this Zvuk, so that way you guys get that in-depth review a little bit sooner. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time right here. Forgot that I was doing reloads, so none of these mags are fully loaded. Whatever. We're just going to keep practicing the reloads. Only 2 rounds, Quinn. Should put more in them next time.